Alright, we're shooting Mr. Brunner's car today. He's back for his 1,000-mile oil change. Got the homie Colby in the background. Follow Xeon Photos on Instagram. So this car is owned by Mr. Brunner. He's a board member of our local Z Club, Cowtown Z Club. I am almost certain he is the vice president. This is one of his, he has a couple of Z cars, but this is his baby. And I think the original motor that was in it was down for about 5 years. It's your typical, we do a lot of these twin turbos where we're starting to do a lot more. And every time we get them apart, it's usually cylinders 2, 4, and 6 with blown ring lands. Anytime you start giving it a little bit more power. And one of the more common failure points that we see is the knock sensor. It just, you know, it's in a cavity where you get a ton of heat. The sensor cracks, stops retarding the ignition timing, especially when you start pushing the car, because naturally 2, 4, and 6 run a little hotter on the VG twin turbo blocks. That's usually the side that gets affected by pre-ignition or spark knock, and it takes out the ring land, so it started burning oil. Now, we do enough VG motors to where I keep a core actively in-house, and so we built him a core block rotating assembly, and then what we do is we'll put customer supplied heads on. So we get his motor out, take the heads off. It usually only takes us 3 to 5 days to get heads rebuilt, versus blocks it can take several months. He actually had to wait about a year between parts backlogs and staffing backlogs on our part. I haven't torn down his old block yet, but I'd almost be willing to bet money that 2, 4, and 6, in some combination, if not all one, have blown ring lands. So anyways, we did, you know, just our standard Wiseco forged pistons. We did Eagle forged rods. You know, we do a couple of things to help mitigate some of the heating issues. We porked the center coolant channel on the block. He provided us a mild set of Jim Wolf technology cams. And then we did some powder coating on the engine. I think we did a couple of small turbo upgrades. You know, just like this is a more tastefully modded car. He told us his racing days are over, that he just wants to enjoy the car with air conditioning, do some canyon carving, and just drive. So he wasn't looking for gobs of power, but if we were going to be building a motor, you know, you can't get factory pistons anymore, so why not just do forged rods and pistons? He's put about 1,000 miles on it, and he said that he's been thoroughly impressed with it, and he's super happy with it. Over that 1,100 miles or so that he's driven it, no drivability concerns whatsoever. So it's back for the 1,000-mile checkup and oil change. We're going to sample the oil, we're going to cut the filter open and just make sure everything's up to snuff. And then we'll give it back to him, and he can drive it for another 2,500 miles. Oh yeah. Rare signature by today's standards. So just some tasteful mods, you know, relatively factory appearance. We powder coated the intake manifold with a polished aluminum powder that we keep in stock. We did the valve covers and all of the steel pieces in like a dark charcoal gray. So it blends in, but if you look closely, you'll notice, you know, that there's some color added in here for some contrast.